Okay, so hey people on the internet, my name is JC and welcome to my first video on this YouTube channel. So I never thought I'd say that, but here we are. In this video, I'll talk about how I became a UX designer without any prior experience or any professional design experience. So I'll talk about four main things. Number one is my educational and career background. Second is why I wanted to be a UX designer. Third is my transition or what I did to be a UX designer. And fourth is what you should do if you want to be one. All right, just to set things straight, I'm a self-taught UX designer based in the Philippines. I don't have an extensive design experience tied to my name. In fact, I just became a UX designer over a month ago. So the information that I'll mention in this video will just be based on my own experience. So please do not take it as a professional advice or something that's sort of an industry standard, because this is just me sharing my personal experience on how I became a UX designer. Again, so I just want to put that on the record. Also, for those of you who don't know a thing about UX design, I suggest that you pause this video and look it up on Google, because it's kind of a broad and complex field and I don't want to ramble about it in this video. But maybe some other day, who knows. So point number one, when it comes to education, I did not have a relevant education for my career, like multimedia arts, IT, or human-computer interaction. So no, I don't have all of that. I am simply a graduate of journalism. But here's the thing. So when I was in college, I was the one guy who'd always be in charge of publicity materials like social media posts, certificates, workshop certificates, posters, and all those sort of things. So I did those stuff for 4 years, and along the way, I found some sort of passion towards becoming a creative professional. So if you studied journalism and you wanted to be a creative professional, the closest thing or the most relevant thing that you could do is to become a layout artist. You'll be laying out the designs for newspapers, magazines. You get the point. So fast forward to my life after college. In 2017, I wanted to be one of those people. I wanted to be a layout artist, but I did not have a portfolio that was good enough for companies to hire me as a professional layout artist. And I didn't think that I was good enough to become a professional layout artist. And because of my financial status, I decided to pursue a career in copywriting in a web design agency instead, so that I can earn money, of course, as a fresh graduate, and maybe practice my design skills on the side. So enter my career background. So as a copywriter, my work was mainly focused on things like creating content for clients' website interface, making logical information architecture, and writing blogs, of course. So I was doing that for over 3.5 years, and it was okay because I got to utilize my writing background and creativity at the same time. I mentioned creativity because writing website content also needs a little bit of creativity to be engaging, right? But then since I was working with designers almost every day, since we're a design agency, I always saw their amazing UI work, and as a result, I was inspired by it. And in 2019, our company also expanded our UX design services. So in order to help the company promote their services, I was tasked to write a blog about UX design, how it works, and why it will be beneficial for our clients. So as I was researching for some relevant articles for our UX design blog, I found myself really interested in the field of UXD. So I'll just be referring to UX design as UXD from this point. So by mid 2019, I started teaching myself and learning about UX and UI design. The good thing was, I felt like I was at the right place at the right time because I was able to study even at work. So that's not unethical, because I was also able to apply my knowledge on the blogs that I'd write. So I watched YouTube videos. I read a lot, and I mean a lot, of Medium articles about UXD. I even watched this Netflix series called Abstract, specifically the episode with Ian Spalter, where he talks about the process behind digital product design. But most importantly, I was also casually observing the work of my designer colleagues and analyze their work. I did not talk to them about it because I didn't want to appear too nosy when it comes to their work, you know. Ayoko masyado makialam. So as time went on, I realized that this is what I want, you know. I'm a fan of all things digital and design. I am a fan of technology since I was in high school or even elementary. So I realized that this is what I want. I want to be a UX designer because I believe that as technology evolves, it's going to be really crucial to make these technologies accessible to anyone. And that means making them simple for anyone to use. Along the way, I also realized that journalism and UX design have some similarities in a way that both fields involve, number one, data. Second is simple communication. And number three is storytelling. So first one is data because creating a good user experience will heavily rely on user feedback and user data. If majority of users don't like the app or your product, then it shows that you need to improve the design. And of course, you need to design the product based on user data, like what is it that they want, what are your goals with your product, and what needs to be improved on in your product, and so on and so on. So in the same way, at the heart of every journalistic story is data. So you interview, you research, you gather facts, and all those sort of things. So without those, you're just spreading fake news, you're just spreading rumors. So second is simple communication because both digital products and journalistic stories should be easily understandable by the average person. You know, products must be simple to use in the same way that articles must be easily understandable. Otherwise, if no one knows how to use it or what is it that you're trying to convey or are trying to communicate with your story, then it's pointless. Third one is storytelling because it's pretty obvious that journalism involves a lot of storytelling. So there's the beginning, the middle, the end. And storytelling also applies in design because we are literally mapping out the journey of every user. So we design how they're supposed to start, what they're supposed to do, and what they need to accomplish it. And these three, like I said, made me realize that UX design is something that I really want to do and something that I really want to pursue. And that if indeed I'm going to pursue this field, then I don't think that I will be starting from scratch because I already know and understand the principles, the idea behind UX based on the principles that can also be associated with journalism. Not to mention the fact that part of my job as a copywriter was also considered a sub-branch of UX design, which is UX writing and information architecture. So even if I didn't have an actual design experience, I was still able to utilize my knowledge on making products delightful with a content first approach. Fast forward to months later and my first personal project, which is a concept redesign of BDO's mobile app. So if you're a Filipino and a BDO user, you probably have a BDO app on your phone and you probably know that it's one of the most frustrating apps ever. So it's super slow, the design is outdated, and using it will just make you throw your phone away. But instead of just being frustrated over BDO's app, I took it as a motivation to showcase my UX and UI skills and come up with a better version of the app. So this was also an opportunity for me to put something on a portfolio. So I did that, and months later, after that project, I went on to create another concept redesign project, but this time it was for LBC's mobile app. So LBC, the courier, they have this tracking app. The tracking app was quite painful to look at, but in terms of usability, it was a bit okay. But yeah, I still redesigned them because I thought it was kind of necessary. After creating those two concept redesigns, I created a case study for both of my personal projects. Take note that I use the term case study because case studies are better for showing my process and problem-solving skills, unlike a normal portfolio would. So at this point, I want to emphasize that creating a case study or personal website to showcase your skills and process will be the most important thing that you need to enter the UX industry. You don't need a certification, a degree, or anything like that because at the end of the day, recruiters will look at your work and what you're capable of doing. So, but of course, to get there, you need to learn, and if you want to learn something, you start researching, start Googling, start reading, and all those things. So my portfolio or case study website went live around the first quarter of 2020. And as you all know, this is when the pandemic started. But that did not stop me from reaching my UX dreams because by this time, I already sent my resume and updated portfolio website to a lot of employers. But unfortunately, I got rejected by all of them. So yeah, that was the situation until the third quarter of 2020. I received a call from someone who is now my employer. He said that he was really impressed by my website, my work and my design process. And he asked me if I can work with their team for full-time or part-time work. So at this time, I wasn't really that ready to make the jump. So I just decided to work with them part-time. So this was also an opportunity for me to assess whether UX was really something that I could do, and if UX was an industry that was really for me. So yeah. Fortunately, after 6 months of part-time work, I was finally able to decide that I'll be making the career jump that I've long prepared for. And now I'm here in 2021. I am a UX and UI designer at a brand or at a company that I really like. So basically, it took me around 2 years to prepare myself for this career, and that includes my learning process on UX design and building my portfolio website where I can showcase my work and my process. I also want to emphasize the portfolio part of this journey because it will be the one thing that will make you stand out in the competition. So my designs, the case studies, and the website combined all took me around 6 months to complete, mainly because I only worked on them during the weekends and I wanted them to be as good as they can be. So it's not the best case study website out there, but I thought that it's good enough to gain traction or gain the attention of potential employers. So yeah, if you also want to grab the attention of a potential employer, then there's no question that you gotta invest that time into making a really good case study and a portfolio. Also, if that's something that you want to learn and you want to do, then make sure that you're subscribed, because in the future, I'll be sharing proven techniques and formula on how to make a really good case study. I guess that's it for this first video. I hope you learned something, and if you want to ask me anything, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section just down below that like button, and yeah, I'll make sure to answer them right away. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.